Hey, this is James from All Hail Internal Combustion, but from 5 years ago. Notice I don't have any facial hair. Anyway, doing transmission swap in this S10. Well, not swapping the transmission. The throwout bearing sounds like hell. It makes a lot of noise. Like some idiot did a clutch and didn't replace the throwout bearing. Don't ever do that. Most clutch kits come with the throwout bearing, so there's really no reason not to do it. Anyway, we got a new throwout bearing. We're also having a really bad leak, and there's nothing on top of the motor. It's completely dry, coolant leak. Underneath, it's leaking. It's coming right out from between the transmission and the motor. So we don't know what's going on. It's as much of a surprise for you as it is for us. So,
all right, so on the inside of the truck, I had to remove the shifter. And what it's got your little happy rubber boot piece on there. And that bolts down to the floor. Then it's got this trim piece on top. Screws into your happy rubber boot piece. Then you take your 4 13mm bolts out of there, and you can go ahead and pull the shifter right up out through the floor. And that makes it easier to get the transmission out of the truck. As you can see, Nibbles is down there doing all the dirty work on the floor because I'll never get back up again. So he's down there unbolting the transmission from the bell housing. Drive shaft's already out of it. That was 4 11mm bolts. And we're going to keep plugging away on this thing.
So we're up underneath the truck here. And just by the outside, it looks like the clutch is in actually pretty good shape. These are polished, but they don't have a rib on them because the folks that drive this truck don't ride their clutch. So, that's a sign right there. A good sign. And, sorry I didn't show it, but we took the transmission off first and then took the bell housing out. Something I noticed, now we had an antifreeze leak, which is one of the reasons we're working on this. But I noticed at the top of the bell housing, it was tucked up behind the cab and couldn't see it, but it had antifreeze ran down just the back of it, and then it split out on either side. You can kind of see some antifreeze residue over here and over here. So, nice. Love external slave cylinders. That's how I prefer. If I have to have a hydraulic clutch, I prefer cable actually, but I like the external stuff. So, Pops has got the throwout bearing out from underneath the truck. It's, yeah, you can tell that's what was making the noise. But I'll hand the phone out to him. He can keep running that. Leave the throwout while I put this out.
Alright, so there's the inside of the bell housing. Freaking disgusting, because obviously somebody didn't clean it when they did the clutch last time. And this is the throwout bearing. As you can see, there's a big old groove in it, and if you
spin it.
Give it a spin, it sounds like crap. Yeah, so that's what the annoying noise was. Every time you pushed in the clutch, it sounded horrible.
It was even cutting a rib there. I don't think it's supposed to have that rib.
And as you can see, it's got some play in it, so that's definitely trash. We got a new one.
It was definitely ready to die, though. It was going to give up on us.
And there's the transmission out of it. It's dirty, greasy, and oily, but I kind of expected that. Yeah. And unfortunately, the data tag that was on the transmission is so rusty you cannot see anything. Except on one side you can see that there's a number 1, but that really don't tell me much. So I'm going to have to try and find some other numbers on here and look up to see exactly what it is. But we're going to keep going and we're going to get the clutch out of here, get the flywheel out, and try and figure out where our coolant leak's coming from.
Well, maybe I wasn't entirely wrong. We, as you can see here, that freeze plug's gotta be blown. This thing's sick. I've never seen anything quite like that. Rear main seal actually looks pretty good. But might talk about replacing that. Who knows? But these freeze plugs, holy shit.
Okay, so this is number 1 freeze plug that we pulled out. It's completely rotted through. He went to strike it with a hammer and a chisel the first time, and it just basically blew apart, and then he had to get the remains out of there. And while he was digging around inside the engine, all that's still in there, even though I thought I thoroughly flushed this block when I first bought it, because yes, yeah, doo-doo finger right there, doo-doo finger.
Good, I got gloves on.
But yeah, I thought I flushed it out because I saw the condition of the coolant. I mean, I did the radiator, the heater core, and all this crap is hiding in the back of your block, on the back of my block. Hopefully your block ain't like this. But he's in there beating and banging and trying to get the next one out, so
This one's even worse.
I think we're going to be taking this thing down off the jack stands tomorrow, pushing it outside the garage and taking the hose to it and flushing it out while we got the freeze plugs out of the back of the engine.
Look what I found. A treasure trove of gunk. That thing is packed solid, dude. How many finger scoops do you think it'll take to get all of that gunk out? Let me know in the comments. 1, 2. Let's get a good pile here. We got 1, 2. You see them 2? Okay, we still got some gunk in there. Oh God! Oh no! Oh, it just spit all over my face. It tastes like rusty antifreeze.
Oh God, the jokes I can make right now.
Orange Kool-Aid. I mean, if anything's gonna peel me, I'd rather it be a car. 3 finger scoops. Ow. 4 finger scoops. Mind you, this almost feels like a stop seal here, or a stop leak. It's very tacky.
Oh gee, I wonder why they put stop leak in it.
They weren't competent enough to do the freeze plugs, I guess, when they did the clutch. I'd imagine there was some signs that these were leaking or something. There's some more. So that shows you how bad this was really blocking the coolant up here. And, you know, Pops was like, man, it's cold outside. And I said, fuck that. We need, oh, beep. We need to make sure we flush this out and get all this gunk out of here. We're going to go ahead and pull this plug out too, because I have a good feeling. I could kind of feel the back of that plug with my finger. So it'd be nice to stick the hose in these holes and squirt it out as much as we can. So we'll probably get a rear main seal. We'll put new plugs in here. And whenever you're working on a spot like this, you want to replace things that look suspicious. Even if they're not leaking, go ahead and replace them, because it's a lot easier to do it now than put your transmission in and then a couple thousand miles later you got leaks coming from underneath your transmission. I mean, if you like the saying, so nice you had to do it twice, then roll with it.
I don't like that saying.
Nasty. This is gross. So, there it is. The freeze plugs are out. Got all 3 of them out. Cleaned out what I could with my fingers. We'll pull it outside and get the mud out. Ended up giving the truck a colonoscopy, I guess. But it should run a lot colder now. So, yeah, we got a mess in the garage. Got a messy transmission, messy parts. We'll get everything cleaned up, but that wraps it up for removing the transmission and doing the freeze plugs in the back of this S10. What size motor is this?
2.8.
2.8 V6. So, we're thinking it might be a T5, but we're going to have to do some IDing on that too. So hopefully when we get back with you on the next video on install and all that stuff, we'll be able to give you a good idea of what kind of transmission that is. But anyway, I think I might need a hepatitis shot. I'm not really sure. Maybe tetanus. I don't know. But I think you're not supposed to play with this stuff. Anyway, we'll see you next time. James from All Hail Internal Combustion.
Like and subscribe.